This is a guided meditation for you to meet one of your plant allies. I suggest that you have in mind that you meet a plant that you already know the name of. Otherwise, you may meet a plant that you really have a hard time identifying. So please get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes and see yourself at the edge of a meadow on a beautiful sunny day. Stretching through this meadow is a white gravel path, and you start walking down this gravel path, enjoying the beauty of the sunshiny day. As you walk down the path, you see in the distance a garden surrounded by a beautiful wrought iron fence. And you walk towards it, and it comes closer, and then there you are. And at one corner of the garden is a beautiful arched wrought iron gate. And you open the gate and you step through into this garden, closing the gate behind you. As soon as you are in this garden, you know that it is magical, that there is an energy and a spirit here that you have not met before in your everyday life. In this garden, there live all the plants that you could ever want to meet or to know. In this garden, there are fairies and elves and elementals. There are birds and bees and butterflies and insects. It is a garden of great, glorious, radiant life. And it is in this garden that you will meet the plant ally that you are choosing to meet today. You start to walk down the path that you have come in by, and you notice that there are great masses of plants growing on either side of the path. And as the garden stretches away into the distance, you see that there are many paths and many, many different plants. Here and there, you see trees as well, many different kinds of trees. Some trees are flowering, some trees have nuts, some trees have fruit, some simply are in leaf. You wander down the garden path for a while, admiring the beautiful plants, all different kinds and varieties, tall and short, creeping on the ground, some higher than you can possibly reach. You notice occasionally a little face peeping out at you of a fairy or an elf. You hear birds calling. You see butterflies landing on flowers. You see the bees busily pollinating. All is full of radiant, abundant, joyous life. After a few minutes, as you've acclimated yourself to the vibrancy, the beautiful scents, the sun shining from above, you notice that in the center of the garden there is a gazebo, and your path leads straight towards the gazebo. So you walk along, loving the plants, enjoying being with them, until you come to the gazebo, and you go up the steps into the gazebo, And in the center of this round gazebo, painted a lovely dark green color, open to the garden all around it, there is a comfortable chair and a little table. And so you sit. You sit for a minute or two and you wait, wondering, what do I do next? When on the table lands a flying creature. It may be a bee, it may be a bird, it may be a butterfly. You look at this creature that has landed in front of you, bee, bird, or butterfly, and it looks back at you. You know that it wants you to follow it. So you get up, and your bird or your butterfly or your bee starts flying ahead of you, but just slowly enough so that you can keep up. And you go down the steps of the gazebo, opposite of the steps by which you came in, and you go down another path in this great, glorious garden. You follow your flying creature until you see it land on a plant. And you realize that this is the plant ally you have come to meet. It may be a tiny creeping plant on the ground. It may be a short flower or bush. It may be a vine. It may be a large tree. Your bird or bee or butterfly looks at you, makes sure that you know that this is the plant that you are meant to meet, and the creature waggles its wings at you and flies off. You go over to your plant and you greet it. You tell your plant what your name is and tell it how happy you are to be meeting it. And the plant answers you. The plant tells you its name and how happy it is to meet you, and that you have chosen it to be in your life. You sit down in front of this plant and you take time to have a conversation, to listen to what this plant has to say to you, and to say to the plant what you would like to tell it. When you are ready, you will say goodbye to your plant. You will thank it for being there, for coming into your life, for sharing itself with you. You will tell this plant that you will get to know it better, and that you will be happy to know it and to use it in your life. You get up and you say farewell to the plant, and the plant says farewell for now to you. And you go back to the gazebo where your flying creature is waiting for you. You look at each other. You thank it for bringing you to your new plant friend. It waggles its wings at you and flies off. And you go out of the gazebo, down the steps up which you first came, and now you are going back through the garden, back through the joyous, beautiful, luxuriant plant life that is on every side of you, that is filled with the spirit and the joy of plants, with elementals, with fairies, with elves, with birds and butterflies and bees and insects, that is bursting with life. And you walk back through the garden, back the way that you first came through, noticing the plants on either side, enjoying them and thanking them all for being here in this world, for being alive. And you come to the wrought iron gate, the beautiful arched wrought iron gate. You turn around for one last look at the garden and say farewell for now. And then you open the gate and you step out and you close the gate behind you, knowing that you will be back again when you choose to be there. And you come walking back the way you came, through the meadow on the beautiful white gravel path with the sun shining down on you, and you hold in your heart the knowledge and the joy of the plant that you have just met, that is now to be a part of your life. And you keep walking and you come to the edge of the meadow where you started. And when you are ready, you may open your eyes and be back in your everyday world. I strongly suggest that you write down what it was that you experienced, because it will really help you to remember it. And I encourage you to learn more about the plant that you have met, about ways to use it, to incorporate it in your life, and simply how to love it and appreciate it. And if you would like to meet more of your plant allies, you may take this journey again as many times as you would like to meet your plant allies. Thank you for taking the time to get to know our beloved relatives, the plants. Sweet green blessings.